Please, media, if you have your mics on, if you can mute them unless it's your question. If you have a question, use the raise hand function or send me a message in the chat. We'll start with Chris Grenham when you're ready.
Hey, Theo. I was just curious if the Boston Celtics were one of the teams that you had met with, and if that was the case, how that meeting went, and if you had considered your fit potentially with them.
I haven't been talked to them yet. Yeah, I didn't talk to them, no Zoom interviews or anything like that.
Got it. Thank you.
Next, when you're ready, Sam Purley.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. I write for the Hornets website, and I got to learn a little bit from Tony Parker about the team he owns in France, and Nick Batum, I know, is a managing partner. What kind of influence have those two guys been on you as you kind of navigate this draft process for the first time?
They've been great, giving many advice about the situation, the draft process, even though it's different this year with sadly the COVID problems, but it's been good. I've been learning a lot, asking a lot from them, and really learning too.
Thank you.
Dwayne Rankin, when you're ready.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I just wanted to ask a couple of things. One, have the Suns, Phoenix Suns, been in contact with you? And two, what do you feel like you bring to what do you feel like you can bring to an NBA team right away?
First, I haven't been in no Zoom interview with the Suns, and I think I can bring some winning experience. I've been a part of great winning franchise in France as well, where last year we won both 2 titles. I've been winning the national championship titles, the French team, even since I'm young. So I think I've been winning is something that I can bring. And then professionalism. I've been playing pro scene for 2-3 years, so I kind of know how it is, how to be a professional, how you have to endure yourself as a professional and bring my energy, everything that I got, so the team can improve and accomplish their task.
Thank you, sir.
Next question is from Brian Lewis, when you're ready.
Hey, thanks for doing this, first off. I'm curious, I'm the Brooklyn Nets beat writer, and I'm curious, one, whether you spoke with the Nets at all, whether you had an interview with them or have one lined up. And secondly, how familiar are you coming up in France with Timothy Loiseau-Cabarrot?
I haven't been talking to them. I will see with my agents because that's on the plan, but I haven't been talking to them yet. And I know Tim, I've been with him last summer with the national training camp. He's really a great guy, hard worker, and really I enjoy seeing him play. He really did great during the bubble, and I hope he stays like that.
Thank you.
Next up, Richard Harris. Richard, are you there?
I'm here. Hello, Theo. How you doing?
Good. What about you?
I'm pretty good. I know you suffered a shoulder injury in October, and so you were out for, I think, a little more than a month. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was around 2 months. Yeah.
Okay. So when I look at your stats compared to the year before, in EuroLeague you had very good numbers, but your shooting numbers dropped dramatically in the Jeep Elite in 2019 to 2020. Was there any specific reason for that, and did the shoulder injury linger for you throughout the season?
I don't think so. I'm not taking it as an excuse. So no, I don't think so. I don't think that my shoulder was the problem with the shooting that I had in Jeep Elite.
Well, I mean, it is kind of odd, and I know you played about twice as many minutes in 2019 compared to 2020. And like I said, your EuroLeague numbers were very comparable. So you can't, there was no specific reason teams weren't defending you differently or things of that nature?
No, I don't think so. I always had the same mentality, the same mindset, whether it was a Jeep Elite game or a EuroLeague game. So don't really have an explanation for that.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
Next question's from Julianne Malplat, when you're ready.
Ouais, bonjour Théo, salut de la France, comment ça va?
Ça fait plaisir d'entendre du français.
Bah ouais, bon, on va continuer en anglais quand même pour nos copains américains. So I wanted to know, as an international, you spent some years in Lyon-Villeurbanne, du coup. Do you think that this international experience could help you in a draft where there is a lot of guards in the first round? So do you think that this could help you for a franchise to select you over another guard?
Yeah, I think that the EuroLeague is for sure a better league than the NCAA. I learned a lot over here. Like I said, played as a professional. I had to handle myself as a professional. So I think it's like something that was good. And coming from overseas, learning that, keeping it the same way to go to the NBA, something that is a plus and that I don't really need to learn because I learned it before while being overseas in Europe.
Okay, and I wanted to know also, 1 year ago, you were considered as a top 5, top 10 pick in the mock draft. Right now, you seem out of the lottery. How do you feel as a human person first and as a basketball player when you see that some teams that believed in you in the past now don't feel so, and do you want to prove them wrong, I guess?
Yeah, for sure. That's something.
Wrong, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. That's something that kind of stayed in my head. I got a chip on my shoulder for that. But I think the most important by a team that's really interested with you and got playing with you, and then after that'll be the moment to prove it wrong while I'll be on the court. It's not helpful to talk or stuff like that. It's only on the court that you can prove things. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Ok, merci Théo. On t'envoie de la force depuis la France.
Merci.
Next up, Francois Damien Philippe.
Encore en français.
Yeah, French name too. Salut Théo, c'est un plaisir de te voir. Well, my question was, we mentioned your relationship with Tony Parker and Nicolas Batum, of course, but my question was, how much advice did you get from players that you played with that went into that process? I'm thinking about Adrian Payne, that was drafted by the Timberwolves, also David Lighty, Livio Jean-Charles, who also was drafted by the Spurs. How much advice did they give you, and what's your main takeaways from those discussions that you had with them? Thank you.
They gave me a lot for sure. They always gave me advice, talk about how it's going to be in the future and how the process is going to be. And the most important thing that I took was probably to enjoy the process. Always be out 100%, but don't forget that you got to enjoy it and be happy where you're at. But at the same time, I always want more. So that's what I take from them, I would say.
All right, thank you, Finn. Bonne chance.
Yeah.
Next up, Alder Almo, when you're ready.
Help reorder everyday items. Track your deliveries. Shopping list.
Sorry.
Alder, you there?
Yeah. Hi there.
Yeah.
Don't mind my Alexa. Sorry about that. Have you spoken to the Knicks, and how about Frank? Hi there.
Yeah.
Don't mind my Alexa. Sorry about that. Have you spoken to the Knicks, and how about Frank? Have you?
2 weeks, 1 or 2 weeks ago. No, 2 weeks ago. It went well. And about Frank, yeah, for sure. We had time with the national team last summer. I asked him a lot about the NBA lifestyle, all the other NBA players, and he really gave me great advice about it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Next question is from Alan Guillot, when you're ready.
Salut Théo, troisième français. I'm going to switch in English. So you played both on board and off the board with ASVEL. You play also a lot of Pintrovic. Which part of your game you think you need to improve the most? Pick and roll, board handling, shooting?
I think I still need to improve in everything for sure. The NBA is another gap where you got better athletes and better players, obviously. So I feel like I want to improve to every part of my game. Really, that's what I would say. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
no problem.
Next question is from Callie Kaplan.
Hey Theo, thanks for your time. I'm curious, how many teams have you talked to so far for interviews, and have the Mavericks been one?
The Mavericks have not been one, and I think around 9 or 10. 9, I think 9. I would say, yeah.
Gotcha. And how much have you followed Luka's path from the EuroLeague to the NBA and looked to that as an example of what's possible?
For sure, that's a great example of being successful and coming from overseas. But I think that on myself, and I got to create my own path. I'm not going to follow anybody's path but mine. So that's something that I'm focused on. For sure, I look at Luka as much of great things he did, but I'm me at the end of the day, and I got to do me.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Next question is from Rylan Stiles. Rylan, when you're ready.
Hey, Theo, I was wondering if one of those 9 teams were the Oklahoma City Thunder, and if it was, how do you see yourself fitting in there?
Sorry?
I was wondering if one of the 9 teams that you talked to was the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I think I'm supposed to talk to them Friday. Yeah. And I really think it would be a great culture to learn for sure from Chris Paul and Shai, being as some players that want to inspire my game too. So that would be something really helpful to learn from these people. And I really like the culture that they got, where they trust players and that works hard. So I really think I'll be a great fit over here.
Next question is from Christos Saltas.
Hello, Theo. How are you?
Good.
First of all, you played last year in EuroLeague, and you challenged players like Spanoulis, Lucas, Kalathis, Tom Artel, Sergio Yul. How big boost for you was to play against these guys? How you involved your game against them?
It was for sure a great thing, because that's those type of players that I was used to watch on TV when I was growing up. And being on the court and compete against them, it was a really great thing. They show how great of players they are, how focused on the game, and how dedicated they are to the game. And so it was a great thing where I always had, to be 100% and be at my maximum focus to compete against them.
If you would like to have one of their abilities, which one you would pick about your game?
I don't know. They're all great point guards, so that would be something bad to pick something from one when the other got other great things too.
And about next season, how you prepare for it, and how you imagine yourself in NBA next season?
I feel like I'll have to prove myself from day one that I get drafted by any team that's draft me. I think it'll be a constant effort to prove and trying to gain a spot. And from now on, grind and keeping grinding and climbing and to get where I want to be.
Thank you very much and good luck.
Thanks.
Just a reminder, if you can try to keep it to one question, it'd be much appreciated. Moving on to the next question, John Gallardo, when you're ready.
Hey, Theo, thanks for taking the time. I just wanted to ask you, what sort of point guards do you watch when you're watching film, and what are you looking for when you watch?
I look at a lot of point guards. The best for sure but it depends on what they're good at. For example, I know that I watch Chris Paul pick and roll game, but same times I watch how good Westbrook is on the fast break and on transition play. So it's really a lot of players that I watch on different situations.
Thank you.
Next question is from Juan Estevez.
Hi, Theo. With your relationship with Tony Parker and your background with him and Killian Hayes being compared to Manu Ginobili also, I'm curious if those sports teams were a team that you like to see when you were growing up, and if you think those are fair comparisons for you and Killian.
Sorry?
And you didn't get the last part, or
No, the beginning.
With your relationship and your background with Tony Parker and Killian Hayes being compared to Manu Ginobili a little bit, I'm curious if those sports teams were a team you like to see when you are growing up, and if you think that those are fair comparisons for you and Killian.
No, I think, like I said, I'm me at the end of the day. I gotta do me. I'm not gonna be Tony Parker. I'm gonna be Theo Maledon. I think Killian has the same mindset. Even though these are great to hear, because that's flattering for sure, but that's not something that I'm really focused on. I'm really more focused on being myself and creating my own path.
Thank you.
Next question is going to be from Lillian Bourdron, when you're ready.
Bonjour Theo. Your coach in Villeurbanne, Mitrovic, said that one of the aspects of your game that you should work is the post game, because you are bigger and stronger than most of the other guards. But that's not really what the NBA teams want. What's your opinion about that?
I think, like I said, I gotta improve in every part of my game. Post up could be one. So I'm just focused on me, and I should improve. And with the people around me that I trust, I know how to improve on what I need.
Merci Theo. Bon courage.
Next up is Noah Levick, when you're ready.
Hey, just wondering if the Sixers are one of the teams you've spoken with?
No, I didn't speak to them.
And just another follow-up, you seem to have a pretty well-rounded game. What do you see as like a strength that you have that immediately will translate to the NBA?
I think one would be my pick and roll game. That would be the main thing that I would say, yeah.
Next question is from Leo Sun.
Hey, Theo, question for you. What do you think makes you different about any other point guard that's currently playing in the NBA right now?
That playing in the NBA?
Right, yeah. What makes you different than any of the point guards?
I think there's a lot of different things, for sure, for the background. Where coming overseas, playing in France, most of them, the point guards are from playing in the NCAA. I mean, there's a lot of different things. That's hard to say one.
Ferdinand Rivera, when you're ready.
Hey, Theo from Puerto Rico. Have you made any contact with Utah Jazz? And how will it be to play with French guy Rudy Gobert?
Yeah, I've been talking to them earlier. It's been a while, a little bit. But playing with Rudy is really something that makes the game easier. I did play with a little bit of him during the national team camp. And it was really great. It really facilitates the offense by setting his screens and catching lobs, and especially its biggest parts is on defense, of being dissuasive, helping on gaps where some other players can, and that makes a difference. Having deflections and every type of stuff. So it's really great to play with some players like that.
Lastly, French basketball is evolving every year. How do you see its development?
I think he's going in the right path, for sure. We got more and more players declared for the NBA draft or being successful in the French championship and EuroLeague too. So I think it's on the right path. The younger teams, younger national teams too. Like I said, it's on the right path, and I believe it will keep rising.
Thank you. Good luck.
Teo's been very generous with his time, so we'll give you guys a couple more. Sarah Todd, when you're ready.
Hi, Theo. Kind of going off the last question, I know that you played a little bit with Rudy Gobert, and I was wondering what your relationship with him is like, even off the court, and if you've talked to him at all about the NBA experience.
Yeah, I talked to most of you guys during the national French camp. I was always around listening to what they had to say about their NBA life, off the court, on the court, and every this type of stuff. And the other question was,
what's your relationship like with Rudy Gobert?
I think that's a good relationship. I text him couple times about stuff that I need to know, congratulate him about about being an all-star, this type of stuff. So I think it's a good relationship where I can learn a lot from him.
Got time for a couple more. Will Griffith, when you're ready.
Hi, Theo. Was Sacramento one of the 9 teams that you talked to already? And how do you see yourself fitting into that franchise?
No, I haven't been talking to them. And I feel like I said, I could bring my professionalism to them or any team, honestly, and really my will to win and compete and try to win as much games as possible.
And final question again, Richard Harris.
Theo, I just wanted to ask you, I know the odds are probably against it, but is there any chance that you would stay in Europe for another year? And has any teams asked you that question?
No, I haven't been asked that question, and I don't think, that's something that I had planned on.
Yeah, I expected that. Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Theo, for your time today.
Thanks,
We really appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for joining. And enjoy the rest of your evening.